What's up, y'all? You know what time it is? It's about to be that time.
Savage.
Woo! We're here. We are here, people. One Piece, 1069.
Nice.
Yeah. So, this is exciting. I know a lot of people have probably had this chapter for about 48 hours by now, which is crazy. But, you know, we're still doing the Friday thing. So, we're here. A lot of people tried to spoil me this week, but, you know, your boy dips and dodges. Alright? I apparently had some spicy takes last week in regards to how a potential fight between Luffy and Lucci could go down. We're going to have to see exactly, you know, what is going to go down. Are they going to fight? I said I don't think that Lucci is going to, you know, get low diffed. So we're going to find out about that. I expect Luffy to push his limits, maybe even go Gear 5. Will we see Sentomaru? Will we finally see some third-party characters like Fujitora or Kizaru show up? I don't know. But this is this the last chapter of the year now? I saw something that it might be the last chapter of the year. But, you know, we'll see. But I am expecting some Gear 5 action, so I brought out the Nika shirt. Pulling the chapter up now. Getting my OST ready. Lucy B said, can't join today. They're at work. And she's excited to listen to thoughts later. Yeah. Sorry can't be here, Lucy, but, you know, appreciate you dropping in nonetheless, as always. Okay. We owe all there is to desire. Dufeld? Underworld boss? Dufeld?
Savage.
Germa 66 Cold-Blooded Voyage, Volume 26. A philanthropic endeavor of lone sharking king Lufeld. Apparently we're changing his name now. Mads, the Laboratory of Peace. Is this in the past? Or is this Stussy's in the mud and couldn't even kill Dufeld with a shot to the back while he was trying to get the Tamate box? Oh man, this is wild. Lucy said, hello to everyone, have fun. Remember for 19 months. God. Still getting over this cold that I feel like I've had for 3 weeks. Dufeld looks a little younger here, so I'm assuming that this is a flashback. I'm into it though. All right. 1069.
Nice.
Yeah. We got someone that looks like York with stat on their shirt. Egghead and Chaos. They got Dr. Atlas. Intruders. Why is Cypher Pole doing this? Eek. It's Rob Lucci. They're really after Vegapunk? What are you doing here, pigeon guy? Alright. Lucci schlooped into his regular human form. Shout out to Reese M. Lucas for joining the channel. You can now spam Hattery emojis. Let's see. Oh yeah, I guess we're the ones out of place here. Luffy, let's hurry and head up. Dearie me! The Straw Hat Pirates. And it looks like they're with Jewelry Bonnie. Well, that's that, Lucci. We can't lay a hand on them. Straw Hat's officially an emperor now. We can't engage him without orders. They need orders to attack the emperors. I guess they can't destabilize the balance of power. But will Lucci listen to that? Or more so, will Luffy listen to that? Is it on site for Luffy? Or is it on site for Lucci? Look after Bonnie, Jinbei. Oof. That's right. Emperors have considerable backing behind them. Even a small tiff can flare up into an all-out war. Yeah, this man has 5,600 people behind him. Oh, it's her. Luffy's gonna get mad because Atlas fed him. That kid from before, this is awful. I don't know. Seeing Atlas on the floor. I don't know. I'm okay with it.
I like it.
Savage. I'm aware of the consequences. That said, Chopper, do what you can for her. I'll try, but I think this is more Frankie's forte. Keep out of this. It's government business. That kid gave us food. Yep. Oda thinks he's slick. He's never done this before. Chrissy said such a hater. Chrissy likes Atlas? I don't know. They're okay. They're okay. They're still the worst Vegapunk, though. Ah, Navy HQ. Is it Kizaru time? Could it be? Is it time to send Kizaru? You know we can't have the Sabaody parallels and Sentomaru here without Kizaru. Alright. Straw Hat Pirates are on Egghead. What the hell? Things keep getting messier. Is Vegapunk on to Cypher Pole Zero? Afraid so. They had to force their way in. Who the hell is this guy? We're 1,069 chapters into One Piece.
Nice.
And Oda still finds time to introduce new Marines. Alright, anyway. You'd think those brats would consult me before declaring war. If Vegapunk has cut a deal with Straw Hat, that's a major blow to our military superiority. Where's Kizaru? He's already left for Egghead as planned.
Another one. Another one. And another one.
I've been preaching Kizaru and Egghead. Preaching this. Been preaching this. The real villain of Egghead will probably be Kizaru. We've got to deal with this. Things have to get crazy. We've got to do this. We got to do this. Do it.
They called me a madman. And what I predicted came to
Tell
pass.
Lucci to wait for the Marines to arrive. Yes, sir. He's not to engage Straw Hat under any circumstances. Egghead, New World. Whoa, wait, Luffy, don't start yet. Did my man already go Gear 5? Is that Lucci with also some sort of, like, awakening steam on him? They'll consider this a major incident. What the heck? Did that Lucci guy always look like that? Oh, what speed. This is a rare sight. Most awakened Zoan powers tend to overwhelm the user's mind, but this... Shout out to Baby Pluto for joining the channel. We getting awakened mythical Lucci? Yeah. I just want it to be known that in all of my comments, and people on Twitter, before I stopped looking at Twitter, everybody was like, Luffy's not going Gear 5. He's not going Gear 5 against Lucci. He's gonna beat him. He's gonna low diff him. He's gonna low diff him. Look at Lucci. Oh my god. Alright, so if you're an awakened Zoan, you get the deity flames here. You're not the only one who's gotten stronger. Uwara.
Another one.
Neko no Mi model Leopard. Awakened form. Stand down, Lucci. We still don't have permission. Shaka. Is he on screen? The White Warrior? Whoa, it's the real Vegapunk. How'd he get here so fast? Frankie is all hard eyes. Alright. You wouldn't happen to know the story behind Straw Hat's transformation. Do tell. Not really sure, to be honest. Isn't it one of his Gum Gum powers? Here we are. We're going to learn about some devil fruits here, people. That's funny. You see, there's no mention of any Gum Gum fruit in the old Devil Fruit Encyclopedia. This is just a fabrication created by Shanks. I mean, you say that, but that's what Luffy's always called it. How sublime. He looks just like that god described in the ancient texts. God? Are you senile? That's just Luffy. I speak of the warrior of liberation, whose antics could bring a smile to anyone's lips, also known as the sun god Nika. To everybody who said there would be no Gear 5 against Lucci.
They called me a madman. And what I predicted came to pass.
Right to jail, right away.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Alright? You gotta listen to the boy. Okay? Okay. And yet, as long as people's desires persist, such a thing will never cease to be. We owe all there is to desire. That's the name of the chapter. For instance, the devil fruits. Look at Luffy moving all around. Lucci's probably like, what the hell is going on? Lucci's a menace. I'm into this. Nika, I've never heard that name. Naturally, it's been wiped from history. I'm loving this. Also, yeah, I'm seeing people talk about Yamato. This kind of confirms to me that Yamato was awakened, because Yamato also had the deity flames. Okay. Devil fruits are a manifestation of the desire to see how different paths of evolution can play out. Gee, I wish I could do X, or if we could do Y. Fruit powers. Actualize such wishes. Each one showcases a different possibility for the future of humanity. Well, this is... Oh, we getting lore. We getting the lore. Man, this chapter is a banger. It's a banger right now. All right. These deviations are, of course, unnatural, so it makes sense that they attract the ire of Mother Nature. The sea itself. One who has eaten the devil fruit lives a totally alien existence, born out of the limitless permutations of imagination. I mean, I feel like Vegapunk is saying all fruits come from Nika at this point. That's my theory, at least. Whether you believe there's a god out there or not, one thing's for sure. We live in a wondrous world. Boy. Alright. Here's Sentomaru to break up the fight, which we also talked about. This is supposed to be my day off. What do you want, Grandpa Punk? Science Unit Captain Sentomaru. No longer Dr. Vegapunk's bodyguard specifically. He is captain of the science unit. Okay. Not quite, Sentomaru. The CP0 agents are actually after my life. Sorry to spring this on you, but can you chase them off? Wait, wouldn't that make me a traitor? Alright, we've got S-Shark, S-Snake, and S-Hawk. True. This is a big decision. This seems cut and dry. Cypherpole is on our side, pirates are the enemy, so I just gotta back up Cypherpole 0, right? Never mind me, Sentomaru. I only took you in when you were starving. Please do whatever feels right. But yet he calls Kizaru uncle. So is there going to be a stronger relationship between Vegapunk and Kizaru than we know? Twist my arm, why don't you? This'll be tricky. He's got 3 Seraphims. S-Bear, take one out. It's no use, Kaku. We're at a handicap here. S-Bear, get rid of those suits. Beep, beep. Fiddlesticks, I forgot that his orders trump the authority chip we have. Ah! Alright, S-Bear versus Kaku and Stussy. Okay, let's get some lore about the command here. Yeah. The command hierarchy for the Pacifista isn't in our favor. Besides, they can't take orders via transponder snail. Pacifista command hierarchy. Anyone with an authority chip, which would be Cypherpole. Then it's Sentomaru. Then Dr. Vegapunk or the satellites. But the 5 elders trump Dr. Vegapunk's command hierarchy. Ooh. That complicates the Order 66 theory. My guy Virgo's in here. What's up, man? Come to think of it, destroying one of these gizmos would be a big loss for the government. Would it kill you to look before you leap, Lucci? Gum Gum Mole Pistol. Wow. I like that. I like that. So Luffy goes into the floor and then rubberizes the floor and use... Oh, wow. That's a great one. Emil Diaz said, so awakening a Zoan, the beast takes over, and we get the Minozoans, like the Minotaur ones. But if the human maintains power over the beast, we get godly clouds. Yamato question mark. That's what I'm guessing. I mean, that's what I was saying earlier, that Yamato's got to be awakened as well. Not that I care. Who cares about Yamato? Savage. Virgo said, message you in a couple days about a video idea I'm thinking on. Yeah, hit me up, man. Alright, let's move. S-Snake, lead the Straw Hats to the vacuum rocket. See them safely through the Frontier Dome. S-Hawk, S-Shark, suppress Cypher Pole 0. Chopper, are my eyes playing tricks on me?
Savage.
I thought he looked familiar. Those brown guys look like ex-warlords. Don't tell me they cloned us. Ooh. Battle Axe. Long time no see. Don't just nickname me based on my weapon, Straw Hat. We're not friends. Anyway, are you really going to help Grandpa Punk escape? Yeah, he asked me. Don't sweat it. I'm not sure I can trust you. You're an emperor after all. And what's with your appearance? Ooh. 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 Now this is the Lucci I've been asking for. My man did a Shigan with his whole hand. Put his whole hand into it. Like, comment, subscribe if you're feeling the vibe. Damn, Lucci. Yes, this is what I want. This is what I want. Are we packing Sentomaro up? Or are we... Battle Axe. Blech. All we had to do is cut the head off the snake. Now, Seraphim, obey us. Ooh.
Savage.
Gotta love it. Good job, Lucci.
This is exactly what I've been waiting for.
Beautiful. Now we just need Sentomaro to actually be dead. But, hey, it's One Piece. So it's not going to happen. Ace2532 super chatted. Appreciate you, man. Said, if devil fruits are supposed to represent human desire for evolution, I would love to know who thought being a jacket would be a good idea. Hashtag jacket fruit is trash. I mean, I guess it really depends on who ate the jacket fruit, you know, more than anything, right? But I think any fruit is probably capable if the user is capable. Just happens to be that Bobby Funk and the other Funk, they're just funky. Muglaton said, Vegapunk over the speaker, kill CP0, kill CP0. I mean, really, that's the way to trump it, right? You know, based on the hierarchy. So it's, I mean, that's an easy way out if Vegapunk, you know, if Oda decides to go that route. I would appreciate that. But, you know, I do have to give Lucci's his flowers in some respect. You know,
Savage.
he's always been smart. He's always been savage. And he's always enjoyed killing. The only issue I've ever had with Lucci is that he never actually killed anybody outside of his flashback. So that's what makes, you know, Lucci like kind of trash for me, but hey.
Lavish bracket.
My man.
Lavish bracket. Gotta have it. Racks, I gotta have it.
Big Tie. Gil Tie Zoro.
Do you see
In
this
the house.
jacket?
W's in the chat.
Pay my taxes. Trust me,
My
you
man.
can track it.
Ty said Lucci went full Killua on Sentomaru. He really did. He put his whole hand into it. Now I just need to see Sentomaru's heart beating in his hand. That's what I need. And then Sentomaru to just be like, wait, Oh god. Perfect. And Mads equal peace? Question mark. Also, I'm tired of Straw Hats pulling punches, but I'm adjusting my expectations moving forward. Apparently, Oda's protagonists don't load it.
Another one.
Understood. What's up, Savage Crew? You know, I mean, look, we've had the low diff in the series. The low diff was Bellamy. Like, it's not that Oda doesn't do it. He's done it. It's just, at this point of the story, there really shouldn't be any low diffing going on because we're dealing with the top tiers now. We're dealing with the top tiers.
Savage.
So, and I said it from the outset. I was like, if Oda wanted to have Lucci get low diffed, he would have had Lucci attack the other Straw Hats first, and then Luffy come in and take him out really easily. Because he would have been able to set up Lucci as a threat against some of the other Straw Hats. Having Lucci and Luffy go at it immediately and go straight for that rematch shows Oda's got a bigger plan for Lucci in general. So, and I think that this is setting up Lucci as potential, you know, this fight's going to get interrupted. Whether Kizaru shows up and he's the one to interrupt it now, or we do get the Seraphims to turn, you know, based on an order from, say, Atlas wakes up, you know, gets conscious for a moment, and then at a key moment turns the Seraphim against Cypher Pole Zero, S-Bear, E-Honda's Cypher Pole away, but Kizaru still shows up and, you know, they decide they need to leave, something like that. I don't know. But either way, I don't think that this fight is going to end here, but I think that this is like a teaser for a really drawn out Lucci and Luffy rematch in a later arc. My guy Mark Creasy said they called him a madman. Also, gotta love the idea that devil fruits are a product of a desire for them instead of being naturally occurring. Hence the sea hate. I'm excited to see what the official says about all of this, because this is a chapter we need to read every translation for. There's a lot of like really key specific stuff that is like that is going on here. Like this is really important lore. Shout out to my guy Maxo, member for 19 months, said Lucci did say something about cutting the head off of a snake. Really makes you think. Joy Boy was a snake. Fable said Lucci being a smart and competent villain? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Who would have thought? It's not like we had an entire saga setting that up. King J said, whose desire resulted in the formation of the Nika fruit? Joy Boys? Question mark. More importantly, would that desire be the same as Luffy's mystery dream? Potentially. Oda will find some way to, tie it all around and bring it back. Neil Diaz said, Uncle Kizaru is losing a nephew. Now, the thing here, though, is that while he calls him Uncle Kizaru, it's always been in a, Yakuza boss way. So it's not like they're literally related. He just looks up to Kizaru. But it depends on how Kizaru is going to, interact with this. Deckard says, but Gear 5 is overkill, like he had to use it to beat a Yonko. Well, I mean, hey, Lucci stocks are up. You want to start talking about this? I mean, my man is awakened. Okay? So, I don't know. We've got to see where he lands on the tree, but, the thing is, though, is that Oda is always going to find a way to have the next villain be more of a threat than the last one. So that's just the problem with, shonen power scaling, right? Because it defies logic. It is logical to say, well, Luffy beat Lucci, so he should, and he just beat Kaido, the strongest creature in the world, right? If he can't beat Lucci, or has a high diff fight with Lucci, does that mean that Lucci was actually the strongest creature in the world? These are the questions that you can get lost in, and sometimes you just have to be like, Lucci's the villain of this arc, so he's just a bigger threat for Luffy right now. That's just it. I don't care about who's stronger than who's this and that. Because at the end of the day, we still need fights, and we need things to mean something. But also, I want stakes, okay? I still want Lucci to give us some lore about Vivi. Have him be the person who killed Cobra. Okay? Now, I've said this about Kaido before, and people would say, why does Kaido have to kill somebody in order to be a good villain? Because he was set up as a murderer, and we never saw him murder outside of the flashback. Okay? Kinemon should have died. That would have been perfect. And then I would have said, Kaido's a great villain because he killed Kinemon and Dripper Scarfino. Both of those characters are alive. Kaido he had 0 bodies in Wano. Okay? Bad villain. Lucci, 0 bodies in Eni's lobby. Bad villain. Now, when I say bad villain, don't get me don't take it the wrong way. There's still good characters and everything like that. But I'm not saying this about Doflamingo. Doflamingo wasn't set up as a murderer. Yeah, did he murder in his flashback? Yeah. But he wasn't really set up as cold-blooded or anything. I never expected Doflamingo to kill somebody during Dressrosa or need it necessarily. So, but Lucci, with his bloodlust and everything like that, I need him to actually kill somebody. to make him a good character, and for Luffy to have something to rekindle everything, because I don't want to rehash everything from Enies Lobby. So if Lucci was to kill Sentomaru, Luffy could get upset about that, but it would be more meaningful if Lucci was the one who killed Cobra. And then it's personal for Luffy. And then we have a personal fight. That's all I want. I want character moments. It's not I want this person to kill somebody because I want death and I want gore and I want, gritty One Piece. No, Lucci says my favorite thing is killing, and we've never seen him kill outside of the flashback. And Lucci is also the type of person to have been beaten by Luffy, and then it's totally within his character to want to be stronger and never have something like that happen again, and kind of have a Zoro moment, like I will never lose again. So yeah, it totally makes sense that Lucci is one of the first characters that we're seeing that like is literally told to us, this guy has awakened his someone. All right. Third Eye guy, Michael Lacoste, member for 17 months, said, holy hell, 17 months already? Keep it savage, Randy. When do I not? Always savage. The Chin said, RIP one hit KO Lucci power scalers. Yes, RIP. They are packed. Okay, all of the one hit KO Lucci power scalers. Body bagged. It's just story progression. Sometimes you have to logic or anything like that doesn't work. LJ916 said, surprised no one's really talking about the vacuum rocket on top of Egghead. I'm just stuck on it because it feels like it was subtly dropped that he has a rocket. Maybe Moon updates when they use it.
Savage.
I mean, we're just, as usual, talking about the end page. There's a lot of stuff to get into here, all right? And don't worry, we're going to get into all of it, and I'm going to reread everything, and I want to find the, the deeper things that are going here. Let's see. And let's see. We're gonna have a moment of chair peace, and I'll be right back. And we're gonna get into a lot.
Another one.
Alrighty. Chair piece. The chair piece is real.
Savage.
Yeah. Hoodie mode. It's chilly in here. Let's see. My guy Yamil said, top 5 most desired powers in history. 1, jackets. 2, chihuahuas. 3, balls. Pause. 4 butter, 5 human / Hito. I'm gonna need that Chihuahua fruit ASAP. Not for me personally, but I'm gonna watch that Stussy. Inu no Mi model Chihuahua. I could see that though. I could see that. An awakened Chihuahua. You guys ready? You're not ready for that. You're not ready for an awakened Chihuahua. Don the Sniper said Kizaru versus Zoro. That's what I've been saying. That's what I've been saying. Kizaru versus Zoro. Need that rematch. All right. You want to talk about low diff? Protagonist got low diffed. Zoro got low diffed by Kizaru in the archipelago.
Savage.
Oro Sensei said, Revel's theory based on this chapter is that Luffy's dream is to make everyone else's dream come true. What's your thoughts based on this new info? I would say that that's interesting. Considering that everybody on the crew has a dream. But the thing that goes against it is that if he wanted to make everyone's dreams come true, I think Luffy would have more of an interest in other people's dreams. And as we saw in 1068, our boy was picking his nose during Vegapunk, like, opening his heart to him. Now, granted, Luffy heard that he had a dream and said, yeah, come on to the ship. But I think he would be more invested in what people's dreams are and, like, kind of keep a memory of them. So I don't think it's exactly that. But it may be, in different words, a form of that. You know. Raymar Football said, convince Luffy's dream is for everybody to be a pirate. I mean, Luffy thinks that being the Pirate King is being the freest. So he just wants he wants everybody to be free. So everybody being a pirate would line up with the same thing, which is what we've been talking about. Kai said, oh, the SSG's formation is because the world government planned on cutting ties with Vegapunk. So the world government ordered Vegapunk to create the SSG so that they would have something unstoppable and then just X out the middleman. Maybe. But, I mean, they definitely had it in the contract that the Gorosei had to have supreme control over it so that it couldn't be used against them. The Shooter Ali, member for 6 months, said, I'm late, but yo, Rob Gucci is not weak. He's not. Marco said, hello, Randy. Hey there. I just need to find out that everybody is like really a some form of a Hito, you know, like Robin and all that. I need Awakened Robin with the deity glow. Brandon King, member for 12 months, said a year. Thanks for keeping it savage. I'll never be anything less. Fable said apparently when Kizaru offered to go to the Wano and clean up 2 Yonkos, he wasn't kidding. Don't sleep on Kizaru. My guy Maxo said, Randy, I'm talking Lucci killing Cobra stocks. Oh. Cutting the head off of a snake.
Savage.
I like that. I like that, brother. Yeah.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Oh, man. Ty, remember for 6 months. Although YouTube needs to fix that. It's been longer. Ty said, that's how my last job did me. Made me train my replacement. Damn. They're like, hey, look, bro. We're letting you go. This guy's going to take your place. You're going to train. Talk about savage. That's savage. Reese in the chat said, power scaling isn't linear in One Piece. Devil Fruit powers, hockey, and skill have always played a part in the fight. This is in Dragon Ball. Exactly. Everybody thought this was going to be Trunks versus Frieza at the beginning of the Android saga. Ah. Y'all reading Two Piece, if you think that. Tyler Hill said, Randy, what's your opinion on the canon of the Viver cards? Just curious. Thanks for the answer. I mean, I think that there's no reason not to accept a lot of the info as canon. Although I'm, still kind of up in the air on everything because I feel like there was a little bit of contradictory information because the Viver cards implied that, like, Yasue never ate a smile. But then the canon manga kind of made it seem like he did at the end of Wano. So I'm still kind of confused on that. So, I mean, whatever's on the page is always, the thing to really go with. Chin, member for 17 months, said, by the way, Randy, I believe Lucci's cat fruit's will is the one who chose to fight Luffy's sun god Nika, not Lucci himself. Awakened Zoan fruits have desires. So you think that Lucci's evil bloodlust comes more so from the fruit rather than himself? And that when he transformed, Luffy's fruit just automatically was like, oh, it's on? I think we would need to get more into soul peace, and the souls of fruits, and fruits having their own wills before we can really talk about that stuff, but it's possible. Devin Frink said, I find it strange that Sakazuki knows. After all, Cypher Pole Zero acts directly under the Five Elders, and they want to hide the history. Vegapunk is a huge military asset. You find it strange that he knows what's going on Egghead? Because he's getting briefed from the other guys. It's not like he's just omniscient. He's getting told the information. Or you're surprised that he knows anything about Vegapunk being a military asset. I mean, I don't think that that's, too out of the realm of knowledge, because the Marines are benefiting from this knowledge. He knows what the Seraphim are. He knows what Vegapunk is up to. And if Vegapunk is, going with the Straw Hats, then hey, that's what it's gonna send a shiver down his spine. And then when he finds out they're with Bonnie too, yeah. Parvision in the chat, what's up, my guy? Luffy said, where'd you get that Nika Nike drip? I made it. I gotta get the store back up. The store got taken down, but find a new host site for the store. I've been saying that for a while, but eventually I will. And then you just gotta keep an eye out for that. Greybird said Lucci's personality was perfect for his character, which is why he awakened. Yeah, the bloodlust of a leopard, his own bloodlust, they match. They're able to talk to each other and say, hey, let's do this. Here. Par said this chapter has me laughing like an evil villain who has seen the future. What'd you say about this chapter? Because I had a bunch of W's this chapter as well. See. And says that going off of what he was saying earlier about the fruits having their own wills and everything like that, the Mikami is the guardian deity of Wano. So being that Yamato is awakened, Shin is saying that it was the fruit that said, no, you can't leave. So they have to stay in Wano. I would actually like that as an explanation. Let's see, K-Pro N. Appreciate you. Said, so if devil fruits are created from the will/dreams of people, how do you think they come into existence? Like after someone dies, if they devoted their life to a cause, it becomes a devil fruit or something like that. Appreciate the double super chat continuing. It said, and if this is really come from the will and dreams of people, how is Vegapunk able to recreate them, so to speak? Maybe he can only copy fruits once they are combined with a person. So there has to be some sort of tech aspect to it.
Savage.
I think that the ancient kingdom had desires to sort of probably help the community. And there were certain people that were like, you know, hey, I think it would help construct buildings and things if I could just swim through the floor and get to the other side or something. And, you know, maybe their wills and wishes and everything, they would go to a tree and say their desires, and then the tree would bear fruit or something because it was a magical tree. I don't know. I don't know what Oda's going to. I don't know how to really necessarily make sense of this because it really defies logic. But let's see. Par said devil seed users. My craziest Zoro theory is that he could be a natural Zoan ability. But yeah, the Awakening Zoan video. There's a few more that so many people said were crazy. But to finish up K-Pro, I really think that somehow, I think every fruit has a soul of the original user inside of it, or a piece of their will and everything. So that somehow, when they died, they, you know, manifested into it, so that there is something living in the devil fruit, and that there's a battle between the, you know, the user now and the user from back then. So I think that that's, you know, something that's got to get clarified. Savage. But yeah. K-Pro N super chat again said, bro, what if only those with D are able to create devil fruits or something? I mean, that would be an interesting way to, you know, make the D important, right? And then maybe that's how Teach, you know, Blackbeard was able to do what he did with Whitebeard, because he found out the secret of that and he knows how to make the fruit. There's a possibility there. Possibility. Barry said, I'm finally back. I missed everything. Starting the stream over, guys. Yep, table in the building. Baby Pluto N said will of D, and then in parentheses
Another
with
one.
desire. The D stands for desire. Possibly. I mean, I still think that the D is a symbol. It's either a moon, crescent moon, or it is a smile that is sideways. So I don't think it stands for anything. Like, I don't think it's a. It could be, could be a word, but I think it's more Oda to have it just be a symbol that is carried. Oscar Cruz, member for 17 months, said, need the official. The text here is so important. I agree. And even in the YouTuber group chat, I saw that Artur was saying that there's a lot of kind of misconceptions and everything, even in the scans. So, a little worried about everything that's going on. But I do need the official to clarify some things. Maxo said, devil fruits are inherited will manifested.
Savage.
Barry said, I missed it, but what do we think of Frankie's Sanji level hard eyes for Vegapunk? I called that out during the read. I was just like, look at Frankie's eyes when the real Vegapunk shows up. Ooh, big Fable. W's in the chat for the boy.
Lavish bracket. In a lavish bracket. Gotta have it. Racks, I gotta have it. Beat my fabric. Do you see this jacket? Pay my taxes.
Fable said, when a conqueror has a strong enough will, maybe their desire can manifest into a fruit. If so, then I believe Yamato's fruit is the manifestation of Odin's will to protect Wano. So are you saying that you don't think that the Makami fruit existed prior to Odin's death? Or that Odin's death made the former Makami fruit reappear? I mean, I do agree with when someone has a strong enough will that their desire can manifest into a fruit. That's what we were talking about in the sense of the Age of Kingdom. It's like someone had an idea like, this can help the community, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to get this fruit so I can have this power to help the people. And that a piece of their soul and everything can be in the fruit. But the connection between Yamato's fruit and Odin's will to protect Wano is interesting. But I think we need more context on that. And I really hope that when we eventually get, we go into the Void history and we start, seeing Toki and stuff like that, maybe there's somebody that has Yamato's fruit from back then. The original guardian deity of Wano. Maybe even a former shogun. Reese is out of here. Later, Reese. Let's see. Fable said, I think Odin's will during his death created the Makami fruit. That's why Yamato is literally been saying to us that they're Odin. Ooh. Okay, so now we're bringing it around. See, I like that because it creates a logical explanation for a quirk that I'm not a fan of. So if Odin, a piece of Odin was literally in the fruit, and that's what's, you know, making Yamato say that, I like that. I would be okay with that. And this also goes back to what was being mentioned earlier, if the D are able to create fruits, because, as we know, Odin died with a smile on his face. And the smile
Savage.
looked like this. So there, in that sense, there might be something to that. I actually really like that.
Savage.
K-Pro N said, kind of hoping Vegapunk doesn't have all the details. I'm not liking this created from the dreams of people thing. It requires a lot more clarification. Yeah, I mean, I think that, as Vegapunk even says in the chapter, it's a theory. But the thing is that if the theory is being told to us by Oda, then it means that the theory is on the right track. It's not the whole story, because Oda's never going to give us the whole story until he actually finally gives us the whole story. And that's either going to be an Elbaf or a Laugh Tale. But what, you know, and we're going to have to look at every translation, obviously, for this. But what's being said here is going to be very close to what it actually is. Joe, the West Indian male, appreciate the super chat. Joe said, in Vision of Esclafone, the Draconians lived on Atlantis, had advanced technology to create their desires into reality. They sprouted wings, could make wishes, and accidentally destroyed their home. I think you're onto something there, Joe. That sounds like a Oda inspiration there. I'm gonna look into that. People said the Makami fruit was nowhere to be found during Oroshi's flashback, just an idea to keep in the back of your mind. Yeah. Mr. Dragon 1818 said, you think we hear from Law next chapter? I do not. I don't think we hear from Law until we see Sword arrive to the island and they start, you know, and we see Helmeppo start worrying about Kobe. We need that sort of like transitional thing. So we need to go back to Helmeppo first, and then Helmeppo will be the transitional point to Kobe. That's what I think Oda's going to do. Let's see. Oh, I got caught. We gotta kick your your people out of the Discord and everything so they don't know when we're streaming, Ty. Mr. Dragon said, I just have no idea how a Zoro versus Kizaru fight would go down. It's gonna go down. It's gonna go down. Originally, You know, like when Green Bull was introduced, I was like, you know, this would be a decent fight for Zoro, you know, because he has a sword and all of that. And then we have Mosshead versus Mosshead. And then I was like, no, no, no. Zoro needs redemption, and he needs to beat Kizaru. Because Kizaru is like is literally the only person who beat him after he said, I will never lose again. So he's gotta get over that hump. And then I just like the idea of Sanji being the one to go up against Green Bull, because it would be his way of fighting a Mosshead. So it just seems like that's the more Oda route. Chin super chatted, said thoughts on the Knights of the Zodiac trailer. Zoro is in it. I have not seen it yet, but I do want to check it out so we could see the boy McKenyu. So we have a break. Chat, let me know. Is this the last official chapter of the year? Or are we expecting to get 1070 officially in December and then 1071 in January? Or is it 1070 officially in January? Batman for Real said an L beat Zoro. Yeah. 1070 officially on December 25th. Wow. Interesting. Well, I guess we'll be here December 23rd then, guys. LJ916 said, since we've never seen a brand new devil fruit be created, could it be that Law's eternal surgery power is really to convert someone's will, soul, desire into a devil fruit, allowing them to live on forever?
Savage.
We're going down a rabbit hole with that one, LJ. I see where you're going with that, but I still like my headcanon that the immortality surgery is still just lifespan. It's the only thing that he can give is his remaining lifespan. It's not immortality, but it could be immortality the more you abuse it. LJ also said, I do assume it will only work on Zoan types, since that's only what Vegapunk referred to. You think that the immortality surgery could only work on a Zoan type? If that's the case, then wow, Doflamingo would have been mad. Unless the theory that all fruits are really Zoan types is true. Brandon King said, look back at the Luffy Lucci Punch clash. It's a direct recreation of the one all the way back in 409. Yeah, I'm not surprised that... Yep. There it is. The one that the sea itself.
Savage.
The one who was eating the fruit, yep. Oda couldn't resist that. Of course he had to go for it. Miles said Bible thumping Kuma showing up on Christmas Day. That'd be funny. I mean, it's just crazy how all of the archipelago elements are really coming together. Like I said at the beginning of this arc, archipelago. We're gonna have Kuma, real Kuma here, and we're also gonna have Kizaru. It's It's really coming together. King J said, Randy Dofi is his own Hito Hito no Mi mode Spider-Man. Alright. Fable's out of here. He said, peace, y'all. Great stream, great chat. Appreciate you, brother. Catch you later. So, let's see. I want to go back to the chapter. I want to reread all of the, the nuance elements here. Really start getting into some analysis. Emil said, what if you feed the sea a devil fruit? Question mark. Paradox? Maybe the sea already has a devil fruit. The sea is the Logia water fruit. Joshua Ayala said, hi, Randy. Maybe the stuff about devil fruits was foreshadowed in chapter 218, page 14, when the ship falls from the sky. There's an interesting quote there. When the Saint Briss is falling upon them. Let's take a look. I was just looking at this chapter recently when I was connecting all of the 200 years ago stuff. Everything that humans can imagine can happen in reality. Physicist Willie Gallen. Yeah, I remember looking at that and thinking about how that quote had relevance, especially to Nika, So I'm not surprised that people are probably talking about that, since we were all, for the most part, looking at this Saint Briss stuff very recently. Vern, what's up, man? Amir Ferrier said, Kizaru gonna low diff Lucci for hurting Axe Guy. We'll see. I mean, I don't know about all the low diffing, but I mean, if we really wanted to hype up Kizaru over Lucci, that would be the way to do it. Loggy Doggy said, as long as people hunger for freedom, these things shall never cease to be. Is Roger talking about people's desires creating the Nika fruit? There's a lot to consider here. LJ said, since they are only about an island away, and now that the Navy is getting involved, do you think Sword will come into play? Yeah, I do. And I talked about it at length. If it wasn't last week's stream, the stream before that, I think that Sword comes to Egghead because we already know that they want to get a Seraphim to go and get Kobe back. So I think that Sword shows up and Helmeppo and Zoro probably run into each other. then we might get a Kobe update. Because it depends. It's either Kizaru is going to run into Zoro immediately, or Zoro and Brook are going to be used for the sword lore. But Helmeppo, I think, is definitely coming to Egghead. This is the Ghost member for 17 months said, now that Marshall T. Vern's here, should you do us a favor and hit the another one button.
Another one.
We've been collecting W's in Chainsaw Man like he did this chapter. Appreciate Little Mama.
And another one.
Still got to get on the chainsaw train. Vern said we need it, Randy. The future sight with us is too real.
Another one.
There you go. Baby Pluto said, hold up. The two swordsmen of the Straw Hats meet sword poetry. That's what I'm saying. All right, let's do this reread here. We can get deeper. So Mads was a pacifist group, which makes sense because Vegapunk was at the front of it. It would seem that Dufeld was probably their financier, but since he's a loan shark, he probably put most of them in debt. I will now forever be Little Mama. Is that right? All right. Let me just run up. Let me run up onto a stage and pretend I'm supposed to be there. Theo said, Randy, honest question. Why don't you wear your professor glasses on Friday? Because the text isn't that dense, so I don't really feel like I need my glasses. Man, when we're doing those Hunter x Hunter streams, it's like my eyes. Okay, so we got the... Just running through the chapter again. Luffy knows that things are about to get heated up. He's already fought this guy at length, so... He's like, I need you guys to take Bonnie. I'm not on Bonnie duty anymore. So this is how Sakazuki knows what's going on, because Stussy yells at the other Cypher Pull fodder to say contact the Navy. So that's why we go there and we get the information to Sakazuki. Mark said, did I miss a Hunter x Hunter stream? Yeah, we did it on Twitch. I caught up all the way to 397. I have to put the VOD on the second channel. Read like 9 chapters in one stream. At the end of it, I was like, I gotta go, guys. Let's see. Alright, so then there's Atlas on the floor. I love how Luffy says, that kid gave us food. It's not a kid, that's a robot. Things keep getting messier. Is Vegapunk on to CP0? Afraid so. They had to force their way in. You'd think those brats would consult with me before declaring war. So Sakazuki is clearly team kill Vegapunk. Which is another reason why Akainu is not sword. Right. Get ready for the another one spam when we find that out. Vegapunk has cut a deal with Straw Hat. That's a major blow to our military superiority. Is that killing Vegapunk a major blow to your military superiority? But, you know, yeah, whatever. Tell Lucci to wait for the Marines to arrive. He's not to engage Straw Hat under any circumstances. Well, you know. Tell that to Luffy. You'd better be sure you want to do this, Luffy, says Jinbei. That's a little ominous. Okay, so Jinbei actually took Atlas out of there. So Atlas is not going to wake up and do any sort of call out to the Seraphim. It's interesting. I was going to say, but what team do you think Kizaru is? Kizaru is pro-government. So despite the relationship between Sentomaru and how muddied all of that is, ultimately I see Kizaru going against the Straw Hats and sticking with the government. Redeeming Kizaru, like I just need Kizaru to be a villain. I don't want good Kizaru. We already have good Aokichi. We don't need any more good admirals. Most awakened Zoan powers tend to overwhelm the user's mind, but this... Not the only one who's gotten stronger, Straw Hat. I like the visual dichotomy between Luffy and Lucci, right? Because Luffy's got this pure white transformation, but Lucci, who has dark justice, seems to have maybe black flame clouds, but maybe they're also red, which would be interesting as well. Har said, you'd think so, even though Kizaru left before knowing the Straw Hats were there. Seems like Kizaru left with just Cypher Pole and Vegapunk info. The problem with Kizaru turning is that it just means less people to fight in the endgame. And there's so many people that are going to turn within the Marines that I don't need Kizaru to be another one of those people. Just, I don't need that. Would it make sense based on the Sentomaru business if Kizaru actually, like, you know, turned against Lucci? Yeah, it would. But I just can't have him become empathetic, or rather sympathetic, to the Straw Hats. That's the only thing. Let's see. We're gonna have a little bit more chair piece, and then I'm gonna continue the reread and analysis here. Okay. Let's see. What's my theory on the chair piece? That it does exist. Phantom Greyfire tuned in just for chair piece. Well, I'm glad I didn't disappoint. King J said, check Luffy's X tattoo on his biceps and compare it to Ohara Flashback Dragon's logo on his leg. On his biceps? I mean, I'm gonna look for that, but I don't remember Luffy having a tattoo on his biceps. Parvision said, I want to see Demon Time Kizaru on behalf of Sentomaru and Vegapunk. Also, another interesting point is Kizaru was the only one who didn't go to Ohara of the 3 OG Admirals' secret agenda. I mean, that's interesting. I just don't want it. It's not that I don't see the possibility of it. It's not that I don't see the reasoning for it. I just don't want it. That's really where it comes from. Could he turn? Sure. Are there, reasonable elements for it? Sure. Could Kizaru have been a member of the Revolutionary Army the whole time? Or something? I don't know. Maybe not that.
Another one.
But there's definitely some sort of relationship between Vegapunk and Kizaru, because Kizaru allowed Vegapunk to basically operate on him almost as much as Kuma. Because every pacifista has his fruit. Kizaru allowed himself to be experimented upon by Vegapunk. So they have a close relationship to where it may be a situation where Kizaru wants to protect the old man. But Kizaru's also a pencil pusher that really follows, even while being lazy, he still follows the rules. So, I don't know. Sophelia, member for 2 months, said Lucci awakened, looks sick. I agree. All right, so let's see. And that's the page where I left off on the Lucci awakening on the reread. Is he on the screen? The White Warrior. Whoa, it's a real Vegapunk. How do you get up here so fast? Who is saying that? Because it could be Frankie, but it could also be Usopp. But how do they know that that's the real Vegapunk? You wouldn't happen to know the story behind Straw Hat's transformation. Do tell. Not really sure, to be honest. No mention of any gum fruit in the old Devil Fruit Encyclopedia. So the Devil Fruit Encyclopedia was not written by Vegapunk, which was something that we had, talked about as a possibility. It looks just like that god described in the ancient texts. Senile, that's just Luffy. Speak of the warrior of liberation whose antics could bring a smile to anyone's lips, also known as the sun god Nika. Nika, never heard that name. Naturally, it's been wiped from history. And yet as long as people's desires persist, such a thing will never cease to be. Echoing Roger's words, we owe all there is to desire. Devil fruits are a manifestation of the desire to see how different paths of evolution can play out. See, this lines up with what I've always said for years, that one devil fruit user will use a fruit completely differently than another user. So, like, a previous user of Luffy's fruit may not have necessarily stretched. And Luffy's fruit isn't the Gum fruit, but he was told that it was the Gum fruit, and that he would stretch if he used it. So his imagination allowed him to stretch. But if someone handed him that fruit and said, hey, your fruit actually does this, XYZ, then Luffy would have done XYZ from that. I don't know. And then Vegapunk goes on to say exactly that. Gee, I wish I could do X, or if only we could do Y. Fruit powers actualize such wishes. Each one showcases a different possibility for the future of humanity. You know, it's similar, and this also lines up with like the amount of times that we've seen devil fruits do things, and we're just like, huh? How does that make sense? You know, like Kaku turns into a giraffe and then takes his neck and retracts it into himself so that he could fire it out. No giraffe can do that, but that's what Kaku's imagination allowed him to do. We also see these imagination tactics with the dinosaur fruits in Wano. You know, King being able to stretch his neck like we know all pterodons could, right? Queen, like all Brontosaurus, was able to exit its body like a shell and turn into a snake. We know this. This is paleontology. Right, Jeff?
I like it.
Yeah, and the Triceracopter. This is just true paleontology. It's not even imagination at work. It's just this is what dinosaurs are able to do. These deviations are of course unnatural, so it makes sense that they attract the ire of Mother Nature, the sea itself. One who has eaten a fruit lives a totally alien existence, born out of the limitless permutations of imagination. It's my theory, at least. Whether you believe there's a god out there or not, one thing's for sure, we live in a wondrous world. One Piece. If you can think it, you can do it. Come with me, and you will be in a world of pure imagination. Vern said, y'all, my time is up. All right. Stay safe, Vern. See, Tyreek Smith, spittin', said, that's just how giraffes naturally hunted in ancient times. This is all facts. Vern said his girl is on her worst behavior right now. Worse. Oh boy. Alright, so then Centaur goes up, just like we predicted. Doggy Doggy said, your time is up. My time is now. Let's see. It's supposed to be my day off, not quite. Cypher Pull Zero agents are after my life. So it would seem Centaur's allegiance is more so to Vegapunk than the Marines. Which would make sense, because during the archipelago, Centaur didn't actually have a classification within the Marines. He was just legitimately Dr. Vegapunk's bodyguard. It's not until either Marineford or the return to the archipelago that we actually see Centaur get a classification within the Marines. Definitely by the the return to the archipelago, but I feel like there was something in Marineford, but that's when he actually has the jacket on and all this. Meal said, so is darkness the power to return things to nature, to remove powers? If so, it might be able to swim in the ocean because they share ideologies. Well, it may also be that Blackbeard's fruit is something that just removes imagination. You know, dark canvas has no paint. The absence of color. King J said Usopp knows Vegapunk because Shaka and group were watching Luffy's group on the TV screen. That's right, because they were showing the ancient giant robot. That's correct. That's what that's the thing I was the missing piece there. I had forgotten about that. Theo said it's hard to imagine in the dark. I would argue it's easier to imagine in the dark. But, you know, that's what Luffy's going to have to show. This would be tricky. He's got 3 Seraphims. Esper, take one out. It's no use Kaku. We're at a handicap here. Esper, get rid of those suits. I wonder if there's a missing piece of the Pacifista command hierarchy. And that we're not getting told where the original Kuma actually lands on this list. I wonder if he would have any sort of additional control over Esper. Command hierarchy for the Pacifista isn't in our favor. Besides, they can't take orders. Centaur trumps anyone but an authority chip. Vegapunk trumps Centaur. 5 elders trump Dr. Vegapunk. Kaku's worried about the money that the government is spending. It's funny. I love the mole pistol attack. Lead the Strats to the vacuum rocket. See them safely through the Frontier Dome. So the vacuum rocket, someone earlier was suggesting that maybe this rocket is a way to get to the moon. The vacuum rocket is probably more like a tube system, like in Futurama, that allows you to bypass the lasers that would fire if you were to like Geppo up to the Frontier Dome, because the Frontier Dome is at the top, and that's where they need to go. So they need to get into the vacuum rocket, which would be a tomb that like a tube, and like a vacuum would suck them up. Just like the One Piece world, there's a chip shortage. Jinbei sees his clone. I'd love to hear Jinbei discuss, you know, where they may have gotten his lineage factor from, where they may have gotten his blood. I wonder if it was during Impelled Down. Let's see here. Hey, Battle Axe. Long time no see. So, Luffy's reverence towards Sentomaru implies that Sentomaru is not going to be a bad guy. Sentomaru is doing the classic thing like Law would do, where it's like, we're not friends. Not sure I can trust you. You're an emperor after all. What's with your appearance? Handgun. Literally shoved his entire hand through Sentomaru. What a panel. It's what I needed from Lucci. Ruthlessly efficient. All we had to do was cut the head off of the snake. Seraphim obey us. I wonder if when Lucci goes into his awakened form, if his Cypher Pulse Zero clothes change colors. Like, do his pants stay white? Curious. Because Luffy's able to alter the color of his clothes. So I wonder if Lucci can do the same. This chapter is awesome. Just throwing it out there. Like, this is really solid, you know, end of the year material here. It's a great reminder. And a sad reminder, but a true one. Harvision said, I think it's weird that the authority chip seems to look like Law's ability. Yeah, I was confused by that. It did look like a heart, when Law pulls the heart out. Seems like Vegapunk may actually have access to that per the space-time warping ability. Oh, not Luffy's biceps. Lucci's biceps. Yeah, that makes more sense. Tattoo, let's see. Yeah, the X mark. Didn't he have that pre-time skip too? Yeah, he does. Lucci has always had that tattoo. But to have it relate to Dragon's Mark? I think it's just an X in a box to me. This chapter's... I like this chapter a lot.
Anyway, very, very good. That gets 10 Goldblums out of a possible 10 Goldblums. That's my highest rating.
Shout out to Jack Sparrow for the sub. Jack was feeling the vibe. If you are as well, like, comment, subscribe. Let's see. This dragon was a former Cyberpol member. I mean, did his pants actually have an X in a box? Because when I saw Dragon's Mark a couple chapters ago, I only looked at it from the perspective of that's eventually what he puts on his face. Let's see here. $10.66. Running it back. I'm not going to draw any sort of comparison to what Dragon has on his leg to what Lucci has. Dragon's mark is 2 X's, which when you flip it upside down is eventually what he puts on his face. So what Lucci has is just 1 X in a box. And it's not even drawn the same, and it's not in a box. So it's... You know, I don't... You guys, you know, are free to theorize, of course, how you want, but I don't think that there's a correlation there. Instead of Garp as the sword founder, Dragon could be ex-CP0 founder. Dragon working directly for the Celestial Dragons? I mean, he couldn't be a Cypherpole Zero founder because there was already... Cypherpole Zero already existed during the Big Mom flashback, and Big Mom is older than Dragon. So... Cypherpole Zero has been around for a very long time. Emil said, do we all agree that Emu is actually Hatchery in disguise? I would love that. Joe Delisford said, dropping in the show love. Appreciate you. Pigeon is a guy using Rob Lucci as his vessel. Yeah. Loving the Hatchery love here because that's what we have the emoji for. Do I have a separate Hatchery figure? I do not. They have made one, but it's like almost the size of the other figures, and it's like, well, that doesn't make any sense. I do have a Lucci that has Hatchery on his shoulder, though. So Hatchery piece does exist. So, got this. This is such an interesting chapter. I love this. I'm really excited to see what the official has to say about everything here. Do I have the toy version of Kyros? I do. They did not make this officially. That was a custom, limited, 200 pieces in the world. Let's see. Vegapunk dies and becomes Frankie's Jarvis and Monkey Mafioso. I'd be down for that. Hatchery is what hatched from Roger's eggs. Interesting theory Rich W1 said they saw in theory was, could the Mad Ship be the same ship we saw in Frankie's backstory, where he modified his own body to become a cyborg? Now I want to go back to the Frankie backstory. See here. What chapter was the Frankie backstory? Be in the 3 somethings, late 3s. Probably more than mid 3s. Let's see. 355. Okay, well, 355 is part of the flashback. Alright, it's not 355, 356. We're getting towards the end here. Okay, 357. Frankie gets hit by the train. And 358. Oh, wow. Wait. Scrap metal. Really a calming place for me. Useless body of mine. I mean, kind of. I wouldn't say it's exactly the same. But I do like the theory. Would the timeline work? I'm not seeing the steam elements of it, though. Because in the panel with Dufeld, there's a lot of steam elements. And just having these windows isn't, exactly the same indicator. There's a lot of key differences between that ship and the ship in the flashback here. In the cover story. But it is very interesting. I like that thought. Go to 409, page 17, and compare it to this chapter. 409, that's the Luffy and Lucci punch, and that's an iconic panel. There's a lot more focus on it during Ennie's lobby. It's obviously a callback here, and It also kind of looks like Lucci is, you know, using some black lightning on his fist. So, you know, is Lucci out here with the Conquerors? I don't know. Mark's got to go. Appreciate you being here, Mark. Sunny will be their spaceship. Tomato, will you host at the very least one Theory for Theory, assuming the 23rd will be the last stream of the year? Most likely. We'll probably do a Theory for Theory, then we'll do the 23rd, and then probably the stream after that will be like kind of a year wrap up, kind of talk about the best moments, you know, chapters, all that kind of stuff. Then we'll have the 1071 stream in, you know, first week of January, and then maybe after that, Reverie. Still trying to figure it all out. Loggy Doggy said it's bar for bar, the same as 4 and 9. Oh, Flo, bar for bar! Drake? Now, yeah, I'm loving this chapter, but I don't know. I think we'll probably start wrapping things up here, guys. Not sure what else to talk about for now. You know, we're gonna have we're obviously gonna have the analysis. I'll come up with some stuff there, and I'll probably compile all of the people who told me that Luffy wouldn't go gear 5th in this chapter. Plus your boy's getting hungry here. Baby Pluto, what if Toki's fruit didn't send somebody into the future but froze them and preserved them into the future? We're getting a little wacky on the parameters. I mean, when it comes to time travel, almost anything is possible, though. That's why Toki couldn't send someone back into the past. I think the reason Toki can't send someone back into the past is simply the moment you start going backwards in time, that's when things really get crazy. Because at that point, you create this cyclical nature where you're having alternative timelines and everything like that, and you can have characters run into their previous versions of their own characters. And if you're not completely meticulous with the way that you go through that, you're bound to have a plot hole. So it's Oda's way of preventing plot holes. Go one way forward. That's it. Can't mess anything up. You're just going forward. Rich said, yeah, the steam elements are not really visible in the flashback, but it would be cool if Oda could connect Frankie with Mads like that. I mean, I'd love that. considering Vegapunk is his, that's his white whale, that's his mentor and everything like that. So if he already was using some of Vegapunk's technology to, turn himself into a cyborg in the first place, that's interesting. Do I think S. Croc will be a girl? Not necessarily. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna wrap things up here. Be sure to check out the analysis that's gonna be coming out. Stay tuned to updates on the. Oh well, actually, we got to talk about what's gonna happen next week, right? 1070 spoilers. We didn't do that yet. All right, 1070. We should really continue. We'll start obviously with. We'll start with Luffy. Yelling at Lucci. Lucci will make an order for the Seraphim to start obeying. The Seraphims will probably attack Luffy and have him sweating a little bit. We need to amp up the Seraphims, otherwise there's no point in having them. And then let's see. We got the tease that Kizaru is coming. We're either going to see him in the next chapter, or we're going to see Helmeppo arriving. Someone else needs to arrive because we need the next distraction, the next interruption to get revealed. Sentomaru is no longer the interruption, and now it's Luffy versus Lucci and the Seraphim. Vegapunk could easily, through a PA system, change that, and hopefully will. But Oda is first going to need to show us how devastating these characters are. So I think that's what we're getting. I would love it if Kizaru shows up right to the Sunny, and then it's just on-site Zoro versus Kizaru. That's what would be the most hype. What's more likely is Helmeppo versus Zoro for a little bit until they, decide to work past their differences and head inside. Emil said last chapter of the year, something big must happen. This is true. It's true. If Helmeppo does show up and mentions Kobe, then we could get an update on Kobe and go to Blackbeard and Law for, if Oda wants to, end the year with a bang. It depends on whether he wants to end the year with a bang or start the year with a bang, which he'll probably do both. So either way, we're going to be eating no matter what. I think Kizaru versus Zoro is on the horizon, though. But just like this Luffy versus Lucci fight, everything's going to get interrupted and I don't think it's going to finish in this arc. And we're actually going to have these battles later on. If Oda does want to finish them in this arc, then, we're really, super in the end game. Chin said Usopp fights the Boa Seraphim. Probably. That's Usopp's thing. So. But either way, That's it. Those are my thoughts. I may have more thoughts on where we go in the analysis as I think about it a little more. Got to reread the chapter a little bit. And that's that. Thanks everybody for joining me today for One Piece 1069.
Nice.
Appreciate you guys. And yeah, so see you in the analysis. Probably do a theory for theory next Friday. And $10.70 Friday before Christmas, so 23rd. Yes, we'll see. Playing it by ear. All right, take care, everybody.
I've been swimming deep, deep. Savage.